Call this commission meeting to order. So the first item this evening is going to be the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for attending this evening. The first item this evening is going to be public comment. Ms. Morris, could you please come forward and state your name, your address, please?
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
City Manager. Yes, hi. I'm Linda Morse, and I'm the Mayor of Manhattan. And we seldom get to come and ever visit a neighboring community because we meet on Tuesdays also. We meet 4 Tuesdays. And so it's just never possible. And this week, we looked at the calendar and decided this would be a wonderful opportunity to visit a neighbor. So we just think of this as a neighborly visit. We're happy to see how another city runs their city commission meetings generally, even though this will be short. But we're also here to celebrate the 3 outgoing commissioners, Mick McAllister, Jim Sands, and Mike Ryan, who isn't here right now. But
Well, I need to point out
Yeah.
Commissioner Mike Ryan is absent this evening because I believe he's got the flu.
oh dear.
Sick, so it's
Not well.
he's not well.
I'm sorry. Well, we just wanted to pay tribute to the work that you have done. It's been a pleasure to get acquainted with all of you at the League of Kansas Municipalities meetings and some of the things we do together at Fort Riley and throughout the community. It's a wonderful I would say relationship. I don't know that we have a lot of examples of partnerships yet, but you and we have been working hard on partnerships with Fort Riley. We have partnerships with K-State. You have other partnerships. So those are, that just is the way of the future. And so I appreciate the work that you have done and how it affects us. And I hope that the good things that we try to do affect you in a positive way also. So congratulations for your service and your retirement in some cases, maybe a second retirement in some of your cases.
Maybe a
But
third.
wish you well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Mayor.
Mayor.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Linda. Next person on the public comment is Ms. Yusha Reddy.
Good evening. Like Mayor Morris was saying, we just took this opportunity, since it's a Tuesday and we don't have a meeting, to come and see all of you. She mentioned a few things. By the I'm City Commissioner Yusha Reddy, 1801 West Bankway. Forgot to state all of that. We usually see each other in so many meetings, and we kind of just visit briefly for maybe at most a minute on most occasions, but it doesn't really. It's not indicative of what Junction City means to us. So I appreciate seeing Mick and Jim just about everywhere we go. And we've worked so hard, not only with Fort Riley, but when we go to AUSA or when we go to our conferences at leaders retreats in Olathe with our chambers as well as our CVBs. Our paths cross a lot. And I want to make sure in these times people understand that we are the Flint Hills region and we do work well together. And we are there to watch each other's back and support each other, encourage each other to be the best that we can be as a region. So again, I'm sure your spouses are going to be happy to have you back at home, and then you can figure out what to do. Probably put you on more boards than you've imagined. But thank you for your service once again, and we appreciate you taking some time to listen to what we had to say this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Commissioner.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item this evening is going to be our consent agenda.
No further questions? I didn't either. Move to approve the consent agenda as presented. Second?
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Nothing here.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you so much. Next item this evening, I know it's not listed on the agenda sheet, but it's going to be the reading of a proclamation. So the proclamation this evening is in regards to School Mental Health Awareness Day by the City Commission of Junction City, Kansas. Proclamation, whereas all children and youth learn best when they are healthy, supported, and receive an education that enables them to thrive socially and emotionally. And whereas early identification of mental health needs can lead to effective treatment that minimizes the long-term effects of mental disorder, and whereas schools can more effectively educate students when they meet the needs of the whole child and provide social, emotional, and behavior supports through a multi-tiered system of supports. And whereas children's mental health is directly linked to their learning and development, and the learning environment provides an optimal context to promote mental wellness through connectiveness within the school and the community. And whereas school-employed mental health professionals increase awareness and education about cultural responses to mental health issues and treatment by collaborating with and training school personnel to address classroom manifestations of mental health problems. And whereas school-employed mental health professionals are familiar with community mental health resources and are skilled in building partnerships that help students and families to connect to those resources. Now, therefore, I, Phyllis Fitzgerald, the Mayor of Junction City in the state of Kansas, do hereby proclaim January the 17th, 2018 as School Mental Health Awareness Day in Junction City, Kansas, and urge all citizens to recognize the vital role that school mental health professionals play in the development of our children. And please, if you want to say something, you can.
I'm Dana Wigand. I live at 1918 Sunflower Drive. I am a school social worker with USD 475, and on behalf of school social workers, school counselors, school psychologists, I want to thank you for this opportunity to recognize mental health and the needs that we have in our schools.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item this evening is under new business, and it's a consideration of the First Amendment to the City Manager Employment Agreement. Because I take it we all had the opportunity to review that. Anybody have any questions or comments?
This is what we discussed in executive session. We all agreed on it, so.
Okay.
I appreciate the last 3 years working with you. You're a very smart guy. You have a lot of experience on the municipal side, and not only that, with the KLM and all that you bring to the table. At the time we were looking for a city manager, we were searching pretty hard, and things weren't working out very well for us. And when you came along, you said all the right things. And imagine that, because you say a lot. You may have just wore us down, but appreciate everything that you've done for the city in your time here, and it's time we agreed to this agreement. This amendment to this agreement. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Mr. Dingle, I'd have to pile on the back of Commissioner McAllister. You know a lot of people, and just like the two commissioners came up, the mayor and the commissioner from Manhattan, networking is so important, and knowing people and getting out and being able to find out how they're dealing with things. I think you know everybody in the state of Kansas, and if you don't know them, you're probably related to them. And you could
Not only even the state of Kansas. I've been across the country and ran into people that he was related to.
They did go up. They
It's
did.
kind of scary, so have I.
But either way, you're a likable person, and I think that's what's really good for Junction City, to have someone that's likable and approachable. And you've been faced with some very ugly situations that you dealt with very professionally. And I kind of carry that pretty high, and as a city manager, that's something you need to have as a trait, and you have it. I have no problem proving this, and I think this is what you are deserving of.
3 years ago, and still today, Junction City was a tough sell to get someone to come here in the city manager role. And we were very fortunate that you took the call and came back and talked to us. I think you've done an exceptional job in the 3 years you've been here. You continued the course that we set several years ago to write get the city back towards fiscal responsibility, and yet maintain services and improving services as we can. You bring a wealth of experience, and not only do you do your job well, you're very active in the community, which is rare from what I've seen. So it's great that you do your job professionally every day, but you're out there, you're meeting people, you're working with different groups, and we're very happy that you made Junction City your home. Thank you.
And I would just like to echo everything that the other three commissioners have said. Mr. Dinkle, really, truly appreciate all the hard work and efforts that you have done for our city, the employees here, our community. I have to agree that you honestly do know everybody and their brother, but that's okay. But thank you so very much, and I have no problem with the amendment to your employment agreement either. Do we need a motion or anything on that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Nothing here.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Next item this evening is going to be the consideration to award Phase 2 of the sanitary sewer cleaning to Ace Pipe Cleaning in the amount of $462,850. Mr. Ibarra.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, our consideration is to do Phase 2 cleaning of our city sewer system. On April 26, 2017, you guys have approved the cleaning of Segment 1, which is the southeast section of the city, which would happen to be from First Street all the way to south city limits, and from Eisenhower all the way to the east city limits. We are requesting to do the Segment 2, which is the northeast section, which would be First Street all the way to the north end of the city limits, and then from First Street all the way to the east city limits. The price to do that was $462,850. Consists of cleaning sewer pipes from 6-inch to 24-inch, which is a total of 250,000 lineal feet, 215,000 lineal feet. And we went with the agreement with them. It is budgeted in the wastewater funds to approve for that much for 2018. So we are looking to look for the approval for that of $462,850 for sewer cleaning to Ace Pipe Clean.
Will they start tonight?
No, they won't start tonight. We're finishing up on Segment 1 right now, so
Okay.
probably in the next 2-3 weeks they'll start on Segment 2. And I'll
Ray,
have,
do you recall what Segment 1, the cost of Segment 1 was?
it was $316,300.
Okay.
And this will get us to about 50% of the city done?
This will get 50% of the city. And then we just have the northwest and the southwest segments to do.
Because I thought we were doing this over 4 or 5 years, so.
Correct.
Then
This
how
will,
long, once we get everything done, how long do you think until we need to do it again?
I would think we would be able to hold off for another 3-4 years before we have to
Okay.
redo it again.
Since you mentioned the price of the first section of 300-something thousand versus now we're 462 something, is that we have a larger area now than the first?
Yes, I believe the Segment 1 was 191,000 lineal feet, and this is 215,500 lineal feet. And this section of Segment 2 holds quite a bit of our interceptor lines. So you're talking some 24-inch, some 36-inch lines in there.
Okay, thank you.
And we're probably already seeing significant reduction in calls from customers that they've got backups and so on.
That, and we're also, I think, we're getting history and mapping, and I mean, Ray now has identified, okay, we know there's problems here, and we can address those, and I know they have, and
And aren't they cameraing a lot of these?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're cammering, cleaning, and inventorying our systems is what we're doing, so we know exactly what we have.
Good.
Because like many communities, we got some interesting things in the ground.
Yeah.
It made sense probably back then, but, you're not maybe connected where you thought you were. We had one the other day where the line is not, you thought they were connected to this main and they're not, but it's identifying those things makes his job more efficient.
I'd move to approve the award for 2018 sanitary sewer cleaning to base pipe cleaning as presented.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Nothing here.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item this evening is going to be the consideration to award the various fleet tires bid to GCR Tires and Service in the amount of $51,933.89. Mr. Ibarra?
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, Public Works goes out to bid for various pieces of equipment and merchandise materials for the Public Works Department, and we're looking to purchase fleet tires for the 2018 budget year. We advertised within the Daily Union, the city website, and direct solicited various vendors for equipment tires. We held a formal bid opening on December 14th. We had 3 qualified bidders. We had Becker Tire from Great Bend, and then from Topeka, we had GCR Tire, which had 2 bids. One is from their Hancock division, the other one is from their Bridgestone division. The GCR Tire and Service from Hancock was the low price at $51,933.89. The Bridgestone division from GCR was $54,901.85, and Becker Tire was $57,442.81. The funds are available within the street, sanitation, water, and wastewater fund, and is budgeted for the 2018 year. We recommend that we go with the GCR Tire and Service from Hancock Division for $51,933.89, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Mr. Ibarra, what kind of tires are we using right now? We're using some of those Hankook tires now?
Yeah, we got some Hancock. We're using Firestone.
Okay.
We've got some Bridgestone.
I think on the equipment that we're using, it really doesn't matter, I think, because it's which ones last the longest, I think, is probably what you're looking for. Hankook is a good ride, though, I will say that. And they've rated pretty high along with Bridgestone. So I think either one of the ones that you're looking at will be just fine. Now, some of it's for the bucket loaders and stuff.
All right, it's for everything that we have, even including the fire department's vehicles too, so.
That's a good deal because they do ride a little bit. Hankooks are a nice ride. Thank you.
Is the total bid comparable to last year? And also, the number of tires we're getting, is that comparable to what we were bidding for last year, or is there a substantial difference?
It's comparable to last year. Last year's a little bit less. We didn't have as many fire department tires. This year we have a few more fire department tires. We know what the inventory is, so we're able to replace those.
Okay, thank you. The will or the commission?
I move to award the various fleet tires bid to GCR Tires and Service in the amount of $51,933.89.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
For the Hankook tires, might need to put that in there too. I mean, you got the price on there, so I just saying that that's the actual tire.
The actual tires, Hankook.
Right.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Thank you.
Next item this evening is going to be Commissioner comments. So we'll start this evening out with Commissioner Sands.
Give me just a second. I wrote some of them down here, so
Okay.
give me just a moment. And this one's coming up very quick. Thank you. This being our last city commission for myself, there's a couple of things that actually it kind of goes right along with what the commissioners from our neighboring community said. I attended no meetings. It was a Christmas holiday, so there's a lot going on, but my comments are hopefully pretty quick. Cooperation and unity have been a major contributor to the success of everything that we've done. The opportunity to excel, and this is basically what we've been talking about. When I came on 6 years ago, just about 7 years ago, there was a commissioner over in Manhattan, and now he works over here in this area here. But he and I we just figured out, let's talk and find out why we think there's a bridge somewhere up, and we just wanted to make sure that where we communicated at, there wasn't. And Mr. Jankovic and I, we spent a lot of lunches together. We talked. We figured out how to do things. The same thing that the league teaches us when we go to the League of Kansas Municipalities. They give us a lot of situations, and those situations are available to our new commissioners. You know, if you get an opportunity to attend, do attend, because there's 600 communities, well, I think it's 600 plus cities in the state of Kansas. Not all of them are parts of the league, but there's over 400 cities that are part of the League of Municipalities. That is networking capacity and networking ability, and you can learn without reinventing the wheel. The commission has no place for superior beings and superior attitudes, and I don't think we had to deal with that. We dropped them at the door, and we conduct business appropriately. I hope that I did just that during my time. This has been, I guess we'll say, it's kind of a life-changing situation, because anyone sitting out here could be a city commissioner. It takes a lot of will, it takes a lot of draw. And one thing I never did, and I'll admit to it, I never learned how to run a campaign. I got elected 3 times, but 3 times it was based off of people who knew me. They knew what my abilities were, but I really didn't know how to run a campaign until I looked at Commissioner McAllister, and then I really learned during Commissioner Fitzgerald. You ran a great campaign, and I was very proud to see how you did that, because that's the way it should be done. You two did it. I was just lucky. I got good friends. If things are uncertain, and I want to stress this to the new commissioners, don't let anybody stop you from asking a question. Ask the question, because one thing that we've done is a lot of assumptions. Assumptions don't help very much, because I kind of assume sometimes. We don't do it in the military, so I don't do it out here either. But if it doesn't hurt to ask a question. There are no dumb questions. And being a new commissioner, you got elected and you represent the city. You represent a lot of folks in the city, and you provide them with a voice. I want to thank everyone for allowing me to be your city commissioner. I want to thank everybody for allowing me to be your commissioner for 6 years. It was an honor. It was a privilege to be a part of this great city. I'm happy to have served and been your city commissioner. My last and final thing is I want to thank my wife. I want to thank my family and my friends for supporting me in this endeavor. My wife wasn't able to make it. I think she's still trying to make it. She's kind of caught up between the doctor's office and this flu thing, I think, too. But I want to thank you, Aaron, for allowing me to be successful in this city, Junction City. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner McAllister, it's your turn.
Thank you. I could just say what he said, and it'd be pretty close. I want to thank the community for allowing me to be part of this team. This team that is set up here for more than 4 years now has had the interests of the citizens and the community in mind. This team has had many successes in the past 4+ years. Being able to keep the city tax mill flat for almost 5 years, while increasing the level of service and being able to increase repair and replacement of our roads without borrowing more money or raising taxes.
Exactly.
Keeping strong partners in the region. The Flint Hills region to grow jobs and grow population of Junction City. Also enjoyed celebrating the last year's worth of celebrations on the 100th anniversary of the 1st Infantry Division. I think we all worked pretty hard on that. We were very visible, and not only in our neighboring communities, but we were also visible at Fort Riley, showing our support. This commission has supported the economic development, moving Junction City and Geary County into a positive future. I am most proud of the collaboration that we have had with Fort Riley and the Department of the Army. In 2012, the Army told the community that they were going to stop at a certain number of inventory level. And that level began to creep, and it continued to creep over the course of a few years. And with working with our partners at Fort Riley and our partners at the Department of the Army, we were able to stabilize that to the agreed upon inventory that was agreed in 2012. When I came on the commission, that was my number one goal, was to make sure that we were all on the same playing field and promises made were promises kept. And that's probably the biggest thing that I'm most proud of. They lowered that inventory by about 500 units. And if you take just a back of the napkin average of $1,000 of BAH per month for 500 units, that's $500,000 a month being spent in the communities that surround Fort Riley for housing. That's $6 million a year. That is a significant accomplishment by this body, and I'm most proud of that. Again, I want to thank the community, the team assembled here before you, outstanding city management, the city staff, city workers that provide day-to-day service. You guys do very good work. From the police department to the fire department to public works, every day you're out there. On days when it's minus 15, you're still out there working, making it safe, keeping an eye out for us, and providing the services that our community not only wants, but they deserve it. They've come to live with that level of service, and you've provided it. I want to thank you. The community has elected 3 commissioners to take our place. They are intelligent, caring, and professional. To those 3 commissioners, ask questions, research data, continue to press the staff. They're very good at what they do. You ask a question, they will dig into it, they will find the answer. If there's a problem, they'll find the solution. So press them. They're used to it, as Jim would say. Yeah. Lastly, I want to thank my support group. My wife Kathy, my sons Matt and Adam, and their families. My brothers, my sister, their families, and the many friends that have helped me stay grounded, gave me sound advice, and stayed with me over the past 5 years. Thank you very much. I will be visible, I will be engaged in the community, but I thank you for your support. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Landis.
The facts to follow.
I know.
It has been a pleasure to work with you, gentlemen. I think we've done a lot together to make this city better and our area better. And it takes a lot of hard work and dedication that you guys have put into it. This doesn't happen because of one person, it happens because of a team, and a team has resources and makes things happen. We throw out ideas, not all of them are good, and that's fine, but we don't always agree, and that's a good thing. If we just have a bunch of yes people, we're never going to get anything done, or we're going to go down the wrong path like we did before. So It's been an honor to work with you gentlemen. I'm glad we had that chance, and thank you for everything you've done for Junction City.
Been an honor.
Thank you.
Well, I'd just like to tell the outgoing commissioners, since I've been elected, this is all I've worked with are the ones that are present here. And we've had a heck of a great team up here and been able to take care of business while taking care of the citizens. So I just want to tell you all, thank you so much. Appreciate all that you've done. When we're done with this, we have a special presentation, so I'll add a little bit more to that. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for standing up to serve our community and serve the citizens that live here in Junction City and Geary County. It is truly appreciated. So with that, I'll move on over to Mr. Dinkle.
Real quickly, because we'll say there's stuff later, but special meeting of the commission next Monday, January 8th at 5:30. Take the oath of office. I was going to say coronation, but take the oath of office. New commissioners, and then the commission will meet to elect mayor and vice mayor and committee assignments, and that's all going to have on the agenda that night, and then we'll get added full stream on the 16th. Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you.
Mr. Dinkle, will we need to be here? And we will still probably handle email business until Monday.
If a disaster happens this week, you're all coming in. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
I'm here. I'm trained and I'm ready.
Yeah. No, you're still a commissioner till we have oath of office.
I'll be there.
Thank you. Ms. Settles? Chief Breesy? Chief Johnson? Nothing, Madam Mayor. Mr. Ibarra? Mr. Lazier?
Nothing this evening, ma'am.
Mr. Peterson?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Mr. Gurman?
Nothing, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Mr. Osborne? Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll adjourn, but please don't leave, y'all.
Move, yeah.
Huh? We
can't
have
move, yeah.
special presentation, so y'all can just stand fast.
For some of us, we might have to stand slow.
So, I think this is probably the first time in a long time that 3 commissioners have left the commission all at the same time. We have 3 outstanding citizens that are stood up to the plate and got elected to take their spot next Monday. And we didn't want to have our outgoing commissioners leave without us at least publicly acknowledging you for your service to Junction City, the citizens, our great community here. So I have a couple of little tokens of our appreciation. So I think Commissioner McAllister, we'll start with you, if that's okay with you. So I typed a little letter